In this video, we're going to be talking about 5 things that we're no longer ashamed to admit. I don't know about you, but we used to carry so much shame. If you've ever felt like you've maybe said something, done something, experienced something that maybe no one else can relate to and you're just holding it deep inside, or maybe you have told people and you felt very, very judged, and then that just further allowed you or caused you to feel that shame, well, we're here to let you know that you are so not alone. You don't have to carry those heavy burdens anymore.
Yes, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Jessie.
And I'm Bee.
And if you're returning, thank you for being here again. We're so grateful that you're here and listening and watching us and resonating with what we're putting out.
Absolutely. So let's get right into it. Number one thing that we're no longer ashamed to admit anymore is Jess and I are 100% pharmaceutical prescription free at this point in our lives. So we both have struggled with anxiety, depression, PTSD, suicidality, all of the things, and we both have taken different medications prescribed by doctors and psychiatrists throughout the years.
Yeah, and it feels so good to not be dependent on those things anymore and to have the practices and different modalities that we can, use in our everyday lives and not be dependent on, some sort of no shame in that either if you're not where we are, if you're still on, medications and things. But it is a freeing and liberating experience.
Yeah, it really is. And it was like a really long journey for me. I can't remember exactly when I got on my first antidepressant. I'm sure it was like in my early, maybe mid 20s. So like roughly like 7 to 10 years. I've been like on and off. And I remember when I first got on it, I was heavily drinking, so I don't really feel like I could see anything happening. You're not supposed to drink when you're on those meds. So, and then, I was prescribed Xanax. I had really bad anxiety. I actually like just got prescription free from that, which I didn't know that I was going to like talk about, but I'm just feel the call to be really raw and vulnerable right now. And so, yeah, I've been off of Xanax for 4+ months now, and that feels really good. That was like on an as needed basis, and I realized I was holding on to it as a security blanket. And once I was able to like finally break free from that and realize like I have so many other tools and things, like it felt so liberating to just break up with it. So of course it served a purpose, at different parts of my journey. Like I'm so grateful for all of the medications, actually. I don't think that they're bad or anything. I'm not judging you if you're still on them and you're like, I'm dependent, I need this. Like that's a part of your process. That's totally fine. But it feels really, really, really good to just not be dependent on those things anymore for us.
100%. And it was the same kind of situation. I feel like I was in my early 20s and I was partying and drinking a lot. That was just kind of like the culture, and the military was drinking. You're going out every weekend. And I think when I was taking it too, maybe I was kind of feeling like a little zombie-ish. And I didn't like the effects of that. I didn't really feel like fully myself. So yeah, again, it was really liberating to break up with that medication.
So number 2, both of us do not talk to our biological fathers, and we're no longer ashamed to admit that.
No, I feel like I haven't been ashamed to admit that for like a really long time. My adult life, I've had a very tumultuous relationship with my dad. I grew up in like the Bible thumping, like Bible Belt of, the East Coast, and in the Baptist church, and it's like hellfire and brimstone if you're gay. And that was really where like my dad and I disconnected, is when I came out. And for my own sanity and self-preservation, self-protection, it was just like, okay, my boundary is I can't have a relationship with you anymore. And that really goes for any family member that like I'm just not aligned with, or like the respect just has to be mutual, and when it's not, like you can't sit with me.
Yeah, you can't sit with us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my relationship with my dad was just really not consistent at all since the age of like 2.5. So he was just in and out, and for so long I had tolerated that behavior in my life because I so badly, like my inner child, wanted to have this relationship with him. And as I got into adulthood, he just burned me so many times, and my brother had learned the lesson like way before, but for whatever reason I kept repeating like these cycles, these patterns. Like, has anyone else ever been there, you know, with maybe not even your dad but like a family member, where you just keep giving them chance and chance after chance and just wanting to like forgive them and to just see the good in them? And while that is so beautiful, it definitely came at a cost for me, like mentally, physically, emotionally. And then I just sort of woke up one day and realized shortly after I got sober, this is not a healthy dynamic. I would not tolerate this in, you know, other relationships. I can't tolerate it with him. So,
Right.
peace.
And that could be like, doesn't really have to be a family member either. I'm just thinking
Nope.
like friends, romantic partners, anything to that effect.
Number 3.
Number 3.
Moving on to something happy, a little bit lighter.
I know the first 2 were pretty heavy and intense.
We went in heavy. That's just who we are.
But yeah, number 3. And I feel like maybe there was a part of me, maybe like a subconscious part of me that was like a little like, we're like living up to the stereotype. But like, yeah, we got married after only knowing each other for 9 months.
Is that crazy? Has anyone else ever done that?
Oh, I'm sure we're not the only ones. But
people
like,
get married
let us
after
know.
like 3 days of knowing each other. So
Yeah, and like then they're together for like 60 plus years. So no shame in our game.
yeah, we do fit the stereotype. But actually, no, we waited like so long to move in together. Like,
We did.
so long.
We did.
In lesbian, you know, years.
Time.
Yeah. That's a totally different timeline.
Like 9 months is actually equivalent to like 10 years.
Yeah.
So I courted her for 10 years basically.
Okay, number 4. We are no longer ashamed to admit that we are completely sober from alcohol, weed, and drugs. I'm like, what's the third thing?
Yeah. Now I feel like, how long has it been for, well, for you it's been like almost six years? No alcohol?
6.5.
6.5.
We're gonna approach 7 years in November.
That's insane. Round of applause. Little round of applause in the comments for almost 7 years of no alcohol.
Yeah, let us know if you're sober in the comments too. Like, we
Yeah.
see you. We are ride or die for you. That's freaking awesome.
It's awesome. Like, sober people are our people. And I'm approaching, next January will be my 3rd year of no alcohol.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And, you know, cannabis too, like, there's no shade too. Like, if you drink, if you do drugs, if you smoke weed, like, I've done all of those things before for, like, you know, really, like, on a very extreme end. Like, I don't judge. You know, if you're in the throes of your addiction, I still am not judging you. Like, I get it. I have been there. And if you use recreationally, that's cool. Like, do what works for you. Sobriety feels good for me. After I quit alcohol, I turned to cannabis for 5 years of my life, and I became a really big stoner. But, you know, marijuana didn't negatively affect my life the way that alcohol was. So I just felt like whatever, it didn't really matter. But then I realized it was killing my willpower, and it started to make me a little paranoid and pretty anxious. And it was also one of those things where I felt I was dependent on it, you know, very much so psychologically. And I wanted to remove that from my life. So I've been about 2 years sober from marijuana.
I feel like I've been 2 years.
Yeah.
I didn't really track that. I felt like alcohol was more of my my social crutch. So I tracked that more, and that was like a bigger deal for me because I dabbled. I only dabbled with pot like after the military, and then, you know, I kind of got into it via like a friend when I moved to like Florida, and yeah, I didn't have a really great experience with the gummy. And then I was like, yeah, I gotta lay off of this. Like, this is not for me anymore. So just like listening to my body, and like B said, like there's no shame wherever you're at in your journey. If you're, you know, in the throes of addiction, or if you're just like using it recreationally, like that's cool.
That's cool.
That's cool with us.
Okay, number 5. We sometimes get tattoos after going through major transitions, or while we're going through major transitions in our lives to cope. I mean, who doesn't? Come on.
Yeah, like that's why 75% of my body is covered.
Always going through something.
I'm always going through some shit. You like, people look at my tattoos all the time. They're like, "Oh my god, that's so cool," and I'm like, "Yeah, I was about to kill myself." LOL.
It's like not funny.
It's not funny. Anyway.
It's so great when you can laugh about,
I know.
you know, the darkness, man. Like sometimes
Yeah.
you just need to, and some people might call that really insensitive, but honestly, like it's your story.
I
like,
thrive in dark humor. Like it's just,
That's true.
I love a little dark humor.
It's a little twisted.
Mm-hmm.
But I think a lot of people relate to that. I mean,
Yeah.
right? Don't you? You relate to that?
I also have
They're
really
laughing.
uplifting tattoos too, and like, you know, so that's, you know, that balances it out.
Yeah, like perspective on your hands.
Yeah, like that was like coming in, you know, I have like a lot of spiritual awakening tattoos too, so.
Yeah. No, we're not saying
Yeah.
all, but sometimes looking back, we can see, or even in the moment, yeah, I'm doing this to cope. And you know what? It's all good.
It is what it is. I feel good. I look cool.
That's all that matters.
I love the tattoo. Yeah. And one more thing I'm not ashamed to admit is like I had so much resistance to making this video. Like so much resistance. I just felt really exhausted today. Like I just was having like no inspiration was coming through, and I was just like, I'm dragging, but so glad that I was able to pull through and move through the resistance and do this video today.
Oh, me too. That was awesome to admit. Okay. Well, if you liked this video, please hit that subscribe button, turn your notifications on so you can, so YouTube will let you know when we upload a new video. Comment below if any of this resonated, and we will see you next time. Take what you need, of course, leave the rest, and of course, go love yourself.